guys, let's go ahead and work on this. So this is a very, very simple lesson. What we're going to do is talk about the C7 arpeggio bass line that you can use in quarter notes. So C, E, G, B flat, C, E, G flat, G and B flat. When you go to the F, the 4 chord of the C blues is the same thing, right? We're going to do F, A, C, E flat. And notice that my fingering is just 5, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1. And when I go to the 5 chord, it's the same thing, G, B, D, F. We need to do it really slowly. And then back to C. Now, if you practice this hands separately, it will get to where it's automatic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now in the right hand, all I am doing is the first 5 notes of the blues scale. And you guys know in the shapes course that we have, we teach shapes. Shape 1 is just the first 5 notes of the blues scale. So you put your hands over the keys over C, E flat, F, F sharp, and G, which is the 1, the flat 3rd, the 4th, the sharp 4, and the 5th. And notice that as I go to this shape, every finger is hovering over one of my notes that is an option for us to play. Okay, so all I'm doing in my left hand in this point, and I'll just put this on automatic pilot right now. You're building up finger muscles and coordination when you practice this. Put this in eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, now for those of you guys who are, I see we're getting some interest in here. What's up, Jeffrey? So I made a PDF for our membership area that has the first 5 notes of the blues scale with the shapes of different licks that you can play with just those first 5 notes. So if anyone signs up to my list, just find, I didn't even put a link in this video, but there are several out there, and just go ahead and sign up, and I will send that out to the entire list tonight, to everybody, to my email list. And a lot of you already have it, but it's just these simple patterns that you can do. But let's go ahead and do this one right now. All you do is take your first 5 notes of the blues scale and you do 1, 2, 1, 4, 5, or my finger numbers, 1, 2, 1, 4, 5, and then you're on the tritone. You do 4, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2. Let's do it again slowly. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and... Now, when I start to show you several things in the next few minutes, it's going to give you tons of material for you guys to practice. So let's go ahead and keep working on this. Another idea that we can do is use the blues scale coming down. Now, our fingering for the entire blues scale is C is 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb under, and then you do 1, 2, 3. So the notes C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, and C. Now the reason that I'm teaching you guys this entire blues scale is because this shape 1, the first 5 notes of the blues scale, transitions you to the shape 3 that we use. And this is where it gets really fun. We're using the 5th note, the flat 7 of the scale, the root, and the minor 3rd. This minor 3rd on top is just such a neat sound, having that tension of having that minor 3rd on top. And you can play it in all kinds of different ways, but one is I like the triplet. So even if you did that with the bass line, and I'm just doing 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, or I can do this. Okay, so as you work on a shape 3 and you work on shape 1, the blues scale is a nice transition between those two shapes. And you can even play the blues scale. I like going descending to make a nice melodic sound. So so instead of playing it just straight, I did a nice little pause there. Now, another thing that I did is notice that I went down to the flat 7. As you get to the root of your blues scale, go down to the flat 7, and you could even keep going down the blues scale. And the way I like to teach all my students is that the 4th finger on F sharp is where you really you can visualize the entire scale, but also the different shapes. And it's a great, what I call, connecting note. I can really get to that F sharp and kind of get back into shape. So we focus on that F sharp. All right, let's go back to the lick, and all we're doing is and I like to also practice this in different sections. So the first section, let's just do that. Having that nice tritone gives a nice tension that I really like the sound of that. All right, guys, make sure you continue to like this video if you're enjoying this kind of content. And if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat. But here we go. Now, a lot of you guys are used to this bass line. You've been hanging out with me. You're either doing the 8th note bass line, which is all the blues volumes, right? Let's listen to how that sounds over that. Kind of like a train, right? Sounds a little bit different when you play that bass line. Let's listen to it with just quarter notes. Again. Now, as you learn these different bass lines, notice that having a shape like shape 1, it kind of frees you up to really practice on the left hand, right? So that's one of the reasons why I love to teach shapes, is because shape 3 gets you set up for all kinds of things you can do there. Shape 1, there are tons of licks and ideas you can do there. And when you play the blues scale, it helps you transition into the different melodic ideas, right? Another thing that I love to teach is the idea that the C blues scale also has the relative major of C, which is A major, right? But the A minor blues scale is a perfect scale to use also with your blues improv in C. Now, why in the world does this work, the A minor blues scale? The reason is because A is part of the C scale, right? You have the D, C, D, and then your E flat. There's your flat third. That's why this works, is because you have that nice flat third sound. So listen to how it sounds if you just play the first 4 notes of the A blues scale. Can hear how that sounds nice, right? Nice little bluesy sound, which is just like being up here on that minor third. So just know that whatever key you're in, if you're in C major and you're doing a C blues, you can go down 3 half steps and play whatever that blues scale is, the first 4 notes, okay? Okay, so now let's go back to our variation of this blues bass line, and all we're doing is we're building up our finger memory. We see that as a C triad with the flat 7 on top, and you're just doing 5, 3, 2, 1, right? Let's hear how that first 4 notes of the blues scale comes. Let's go back to the original lick. Even when you go to F, there is flat 7. All right, let's talk about the using the major third. So in our blues courses and my students, we've been talking about chord tones this week. Chord tones on downbeats. Well, what in the world does that mean? It means exactly what it says. You playing chord tones, 1, 3, 5, or flat 7. There are other options that we'll still call chord tones, but for the most part, we're going to focus on your root, your third, your fifth, or your flat 7. So for instance, if I do a blues lick and I start on the third of the downbeat, that's the third, right? And I'm just doing C7 notes. Now the third of F. Third of C, third of G, third of F. Okay, now you can't go wrong. What if I did, all right, I'm going to do the C, I'm going to do the G of the fifth of C, which is G. Notice this on the downbeat. Da, 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 da. Fifth of C, of F. Bo, da, da, da. Fifth of G. Third. Let's do flat 7. F. Let's do the thirds now. So sometimes I'll go through and I'll say, all right, I'm going to just make sure I do my improvs on the third of each chord, or the fifth, or the flat 7, or the root. And that way you can come up with some nice games to play. The other thing is sometimes I'll spend time, like we did at the start of this video, is we're going to do different shapes. We're going to practice, because this will be great in all different keys. But if you said, all right, here's my idea. What's happening there? root, minor third, and then the tritone. So in the key of F, your first 5 notes, and you. In G. Right? If you guys are enjoying this, make sure you like the video. Let's go back to C. All right, so sometimes I'm just giving you now a couple of practice suggestions as you guys, have your different practice routines that you do. So sometimes I'll say, all right, I'm going to start today by doing my first 5 notes of the blues scale. And I like the sound of separating it by an octave. So there's 1 octave. I like the 2 octave approach. So sometimes it's just nice to play that for a while. So then I might say, all right, now I'm just going to play a bass line while I'm practicing playing my scale up and down, right? And the fingering's going to be the same. So 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And notice that I'm always getting back to my 4th finger on F sharp, right, in this key. It's a great way to visualize that. Okay, so once again, I'm just connecting now. Now maybe play a measure and leave out a measure. So all kinds of games and things that you can come up with for your practice routine, which also to all of my people that are my students of mine, that I'm actually working on a list of different ways that you guys can practice, that we can all practice, because we're kind of all in this together. And one of the most important things that people want is a routine, and I understand that. But sometimes you have to mix up the routine. Okay, so I had a few other thoughts related to those 3 concepts for today. Is that, 1, I want you guys to focus on this bass line, right? Just quarter notes. This is a new bass line for a lot of you, right? You guys are used to doing this, which is great, and you're getting used to that, but now you want something a little bit new, and you just do over and over. Even left hand only is great. You want to put that right hand with it. It's always good to sing along too. Let's do the lick. Let's do the top part. blues example 1 with this bass line. So let's do the original bass line. Quarter notes. So I had somebody got the blues alternate bass lines course the other day, and then I was reminded that it's not just a 10-lesson course. It's actually 10 lessons, and then I have all the material already. Well, at least for our membership group area, like 21 or 22 bass lines. Let me see how many it is. Does anybody want to see how cool the membership area is coming along? We have the everybody's in version 2 right now, but version 3 is going to be a major upgrade because I don't want to spoil it, but basically anybody who gets certain courses and things has access to all that, and it's a total game changer. But let me show you guys before I sign off. I want to show you guys the PDFs for the alternate blues bassline course. So just sit tight. Yeah, so for my students, we have about 10 people I think that are in our membership area, which is a lot of fun. It's a great group. I absolutely love every single person, and this is by no means a plug of any kind. I haven't even officially made it public, even though there is a way to become a member on the website, but I don't even care about that at this point right now. So here's the deal. This is cool. So this is the version 2 of our membership area, and like let's say that you want to go to the 5-minute practice sessions with Bob. And you just click on the tab, boom, and then here's all of our 5-minute daily lessons that we get, right? And just craziness. I'm guilty for sure of not sticking with my 5-minute lessons for sure. I tend to go over just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to hit the back button a couple of times, and then, and this works great on your phone, by the way. Tailored Lessons with Bob. This is where all those videos live, and they go on for days. All kinds of stuff. It's crazy. We have Christmas in there, and just like 2-hand voicings, jazz, practice tips. It just goes on for days. Okay, let's go back. look at this. We have Blues Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Blues Shapes Volume 1, Blues Alternate Bass Volume 1, F Jazz Blues Toolbox, Jazz Piano Courses, Scale Shed, 50 Days to Flying Fingers, Blues in All Keys Volume 1, Blues in All Keys Volume 2, Stuart Macklick of the Day, Jazz Chord Lesson, oh, that's for guitar stuff, Christmas Tips, Backing Tracks, and Ear Training. All right, so let me click on this Blues Alternate Bassline course. So when you click on this, it takes you to all the videos, right? Let me just click on it, show you what I'm talking about. So this is our Blues Volume 1, 10 lessons, 10 different bass lines to go with Blues Volume 1. But if you click this right here, it takes you to the exercises. Oh, this one only has... Okay, this one actually just has Volume 1 through 10. Okay. Well, anyway, there's another folder that has like 21 bass lines. It's crazy. But for you guys, just focus on one. All right, let me get out of that. Our membership area has been an amazing thing. It's been sort of a dream come true for me. And the people that are in the membership are amazing. We're having a good time. We have a WhatsApp chat group, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, let me go back to where I can see you guys. I'm going to close it down here in a second. Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions about this lesson that we just did? I'll just do a very quick recap. Is that you're using the first five notes of the blues scale, right? And you're going to do this lick. So you get your hand in this shape 1. And guys, anybody on my email list, I will send this out to you tonight. But it's just and then, by the way, this is these licks are all in that shapes course. That's probably been the most popular one in the last couple months, is the shapes course, because it gets you guys into shape 1, and you're able to not only play lots of ideas, but you can practice things like bass lines, right? There's that little Oscar Peterson. And then that transitions you into shape 3. Or I think I did that. Or triplets. And then you use the scale to connect those two ideas. Just remember that your F sharp is your connecting note. It helps you connect the scale. All right, the other thing we did is we said, all right, if you're in C major and you're doing a C blues, you go down 3 half steps. Now you're in the A blues. And the A blues and the C scale work perfectly together. So you have this. My phone just went off. I see that somebody is taking me up on this. They signed up to my list. Here we go. Okay, so you have that. That's a great way to connect things. And then you have the shape 1, shape 3, and I always love that sound, right? That means you're doing it right. That means each note is hovering over a key. All right, the next thing, guys, is this. Chord tones. We talked about chord tones. So you're going to practice your thirds, like starting each idea on the third of the chord. You practice your arpeggio. A third of F, right? Third of C. Third of G. just thinking about the scale, but even what I was just doing right there is picking different chord tones of the C7 chord to work on my improv, right? I did the third, but that's also a chord tone. Now watch this third. How about the third of G? Do it in different octaves, right? Thirds, right? Okay, lots of things you can do. Let's see if there's one other thing I wanted to cover. Oh, yes, there is. All right, so I did this course a long time ago. I say a long time ago, probably 2016. It is still my absolutely favorite course, 50 Days to Flying Fingers. So what I'm doing for all of my students is we're going through this again together. And I actually had somebody purchase it recently. But anyway, it hardly ever sells anymore because I don't even talk about it, but it is in the membership area, and it's one of my favorite things I have to show you this. Can I show you guys this really quickly? I want to give you an exercise to do. Okay, so I think this one might be on the YouTube channel public. Hold on a second. Okay, so 50 Days to Flying Fingers. I'm just going to click on this. I absolutely love this membership area. I know I say that all the time because this is new for us, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so digital video and sheet music. I had this idea to do this course of 50 Days to Flying Fingers based on my classical background and my jazz background. And so I came up with all of these crazy exercises that are classical and jazz and all mixed up. And it truly is an amazing course. I teach not only. Oh, let me click on the lesson just to show you what it's like when you go in. You see this? It's just tons of. Hold on a second. Okay, so like this is the course, 50 Days to Flying Fingers. You click on it, and this is just not the sheet music, but all the videos. And look at the first example. It's 26 minutes long. The first example, day 1, day 2, 15 minutes, 11 minutes. So every single day is a different exercise. Now, I don't expect everybody at different levels to be able to go through it the same way. And just being honest with you guys is that when I redo the course again, I'm going to reorganize the order. I fully believe 100% in the course. It's my favorite course, but I got too busy, too difficult, too fast, in my opinion. But the material is fantastic. So it's everything from difficult jazz etudes to really cool classical literature and all kinds of stuff, and cool ways to play arpeggios and stuff like that. All right, now enough about that. Let me show you the PDF section, which people actually love right here. Okay, so 50 Days to Flying Fingers. And as you can see, 50 different musical examples, right? And they're all written out. I write everything out, and I put all the finger numbers like this. If let me just see what this one is. Okay, that's part of the difficult exercise. I'm not going to show you that one because I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea that everything is this difficult. All right, now look, this is actually a doable one. This is a simple jazz scale, right? That's actually that's the 5 notes of the blues scale. That's an easy one. Let's do 17. Let's see what that is. Okay, let me blow this up just a little bit for you guys to see this one. I don't know if you can even see that. All right, let me show you. Okay, you can kind of see that. So day 17, I'm teaching you guys how to do the minor pattern. This is how it relates to jazz. So you have the C minor, so it does a 2-5-1. And so I teach you guys about, oh, well, how does this work? If you're playing whatever key you're playing in, you're using jazz literature while building your fingers. So every example you see has a purpose, right? All right, that's kind of cool. All right, anyway, it's my favorite course. But what I'm going to do is when I send out this email to the entire list, I'm just going to make sure you guys have this. No, that's the wrong one. That's the harder one. Let me get to example 1. Where's example 1? Oh, also we have this in PDF version that shows the video and then the sheet music. So I'm just showing you the chart, the downloadable charts. All right, this is the example that I want you guys, everybody, to do, regardless of what level you're in. And it's just this example, 50 days example 1. So you hold the bottom note. Then you hold the top note. I'm sorry, you do the bottom notes, but you go C, E, G, and then you do D, F, G, holding the bottom notes, and you do that a couple times, and then on the way back down, you hold the G, then you hold the Fs. So I will put that exercise and a link to that video in the email that I do tonight to my list. All right, so here we go. Let me do the whole thing for you guys. Nice and slow. You don't have to play this fast. Also a version of in there of minor. Anyway, all right. So I'll include those 2 things: the blues beginning blues sheet that has several different licks for the first pattern, and then I'll include this. All right. Any questions on anything? I am signing out. But it's been a lot of fun hanging out with everybody. This was sort of impromptu. I did a video for our group, and then I just decided to go and do a public video. All right, let me go back to see you guys. There we go. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for the likes of this video, and please email me if you have any questions, bob@iMusicAcademy.com, and somebody email me just to make sure that email address is working. I recently switched to a different hosting account, so I want to make sure all of that's working. And so send me an email there. You can also reach me at bobtaylormusic@gmail.com. But I would love to hear from you guys, and just to let me know what you're practicing, what you're working on. You don't have to be a member to connect with me. I only want people in our membership area who just really want to have me as a teacher. You guys can go anywhere, but I have a really cool membership thing that we've been doing, but nobody. This is not a sales pitch. We have about 10 people in there, and I'm absolutely loving it. They have access to everything. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm so thankful to be able to do this. But I hope you guys have an awesome, if you have any questions about that, just email me. and ask questions. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. Definitely spend time with this video. Go back and review, because these simple shapes and things, and the blues scale, this shape, and these bass lines are a great way to kind of really build some confidence in your playing. And then you go to another key and do it again. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you in the next